You are all welcome to my YouTube channel. Please, if this is the first time you are coming to my YouTube channel and you didn't subscribe, please subscribe. Please subscribe, as we are going to upload so many videos related to the metabolism and biochemistry. So especially for those that are doing biochem 242, this one, I have videos that are of their relevance importance. So, and I think if you subscribe once we upload the videos, you can actually see them and watch. So please subscribe. So today we are going to look at the concept of vitamins, and as you can see clearly that this PowerPoint is not made by me, it's made actually from the Department of Animal Sciences, Jalapur, India. So what is vitamins, or what are vitamins? Vitamins are organic compounds. They are organic compounds, but they require in tiny amounts. They are required in tiny amount for the essential metabolic reactions in living organisms. So generally in living organisms, we have what we call metabolism. And metabolism is a sum total of all biochemical reactions that are taking place in the body. So there are so many thousands of biological reactions that are taking place in the body, and that is what we call metabolic reactions. So if you sum all those biological reactions that are taking place in the body, they are called metabolic reactions. So these metabolic reactions require vitamins D. So vitamins D is required for the metabolic reactions to take place in living organisms. Because whenever there is a problem with the metabolic reactions, it means that there would be a disorder, there would be a disease. So that is why absence, because these metabolic reactions require vitamins in tiny amount or in small amount. So their deficiency or absence of the vitamins, it causes a deficiency disorders. So that is why in this video, we are going to look at the different vitamins, their importance, as well as their absence or deficiency, how it is actually associated. So this vitamin is given or was stamped by a Casimir Funk. Is the scientist that was able to find the term vitamin. And these vitamins are derived from plant. They are all derived from plant except the vitamin B12. And so that is vitamin. It is very important for metabolic process, and their deficiency or absence can lead to a disease condition. And then these vitamins are classified into fat-soluble vitamins and water-soluble vitamins. So when we said fat-soluble vitamins, it means that are vitamins that are soluble in fats, while water-soluble, it means that they are the ones that are actually soluble in water. So example of fat-soluble vitamins, we have vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin K, and E. So these are the fat-soluble vitamins. And then the water-soluble is a vitamin B complex and vitamin C. So it means that in water-soluble vitamins, we only have two vitamins, B complex and vitamin C. And of course, this B complex is made up of different classes. So we have vitamin A, which is called thiamine, and we have vitamin. So vitamin B1 is thiamine, vitamin B2 is riboflavin, vitamin B3 is niacin, like, or you can call it nicotinamide or nicotinic acids. And then we have vitamin B6 called pyridoxine. We have pantothenic acid, folic acid, vitamin B12, which is called cyanocobalamin, and we have biotin and choline. So these are the vitamin B complex. These are the subclass, or these are the classification of vitamin B complex. So now, what are the differences between fat and water-soluble vitamins? So the difference is fat-soluble vitamins, we have vitamin A, D, E, and K. And then water-soluble vitamins, we have vitamin C and vitamin B complex. Then solubility. soluble in fats and organic solvents. So fat-soluble vitamins, they are soluble in fats and organic solvents, while water-soluble vitamins, they are soluble in water. And then digestion and absorption. In terms of digestion and absorption, they requires fats and bile. So they need to be emulsified. They need to be emulsified using fats or bile acids. And it is easily absorbed in intestine because they are water-soluble vitamins, so they can't mix with the aqueous environment in the body. So that is why they can easily absorb. But fat-soluble vitamins, because they cannot associate with the aqueous environment, so they require fat and bile for them to be emulsified, absorbed, and transported. And then excretion. Fat-soluble vitamins usually excreted via feces, while water-soluble vitamins, they are excreted via urine. Storage. So fat-soluble vitamins, they stored in the body in a fat effort, that is adipose tissue, and also in the liver. But in the case of water-soluble vitamins, they are not stored in the body, except vitamin B12, which is stored in the liver. So, but all water-soluble vitamins, they can just easily excreted in the body. Then toxicity. An overdose of fat-soluble vitamin can lead to toxicity, but usually in the case of water-soluble vitamins, usually they are not toxic, and it is readily excreted when given in excess. So when you take water-soluble vitamins, if you take them in excess, so they will just be excreted in the urine because they are not stored in the body. And then that is the basic difference between water and the fat-soluble vitamins. And then the next thing is we are going to look at each and these vitamins and their role. So we have vitamin A. We are starting with vitamin A. So in plant, vitamin A is exists in provitamin form, that is inactive form, that is carotenoid. So it's usually appear as this. So vitamin A exists only in animal origin feeds, but in plant it always exists as a provitamin, that is the inactive form, as carotenoids. And then vitamin E exists only in animal origin feces. And of course, this vitamin A, it occurs in three different forms. It can be retinol, that is using alkyl functional group as OH, that is retinol. And of course, it can be in a form of retinol with aldehyde functional group, that is CHA. So oxidation of retinol will give retinol, and then further reduction or oxidation will give retinoic acid with COAH functional group, with COOH functional group. So that is retinoic acid. So vitamin A, or it occurs in three different forms. And of course, one molecule of carotene yields 2 molecules of vitamin A. And of course, beta-carotene is the most active carotenoid. So beta-carotene oxidation will lead to the production of retinol using dioxygenase and retinol reductase. And it usually takes place in the intestinal mucosa and the liver. So buffalo can convert carotene to vitamin A because of the presence of these enzymes, but cow cannot. Hence, cow milk is yellow. So the next thing actually after this, so we should understand that vitamin A have various functions. Number one, for vision. We use vitamin A in seeing, and then the synthesis of the visual in the eye. This vitamin A is involved in the synthesis of visual pigment called rhodopsin. So it's used in the synthesis of rhodopsin, which is a protein that we usually use in seeing, and it's found in the eyes. So it's because of this rhodopsin that is why we can see. And of course, another functions of vitamin is bone growth. So it controls osteoblast and osteoclastic activity of the bone. So it helps in vision and bone growth. It also maintains the integrity of epithelial cells. So vitamin A required for the formation of mucose-secreting epithelium. So in the absence of vitamin E, fraternization occurs, which causes reduced resistance for the entry of infective organisms. So it means that actually it plays an important role in combating infections, so as it serves as an anti-infective vitamin. So it means that when you have vitamin A, it actually tries to protect your body against infections by reducing, by actually increasing the resistance of the body against infection. But it is actually deficiency, it leads to keratinization. So once your body is keratinized, it means that it reduces the resistance. So therefore, the chances of infective microorganisms to enter into your body or to cause disease in your body will increase. So therefore, vitamin A itself is as an antibiotic vitamin because it protects us from infectious agents. So now let's see what happens if there's a deficiency of vitamin A. It causes night blindness. It causes night blindness. It also causes xerophthalmia. So advanced stages of vitamin deficiency. So dry cornea and conjunctival cloudiness and ulceration, keratinization of the cornea, blindness, white patches on white portion eye, which is known as bitoid spots. So these are the kind of the deficiency. There is the rhabdomia. There is also nutritional rough in poultry, which is known as rhinitis, nasal and ocular discharge, stalk eyelids with thick exudate, rapid and difficult breathing. And there's also keratinization of epithelium, leading to an increase in chances of being infected or to be infected with microorganisms. And of course, it reduces reproductive performance. So once you are deficient in vitamin A, so it may reduce your reproductive performance. So vitamin A is very important. Keratinization, night blindness, xerophthalmia, reduce reproductive performance are all associated with vitamin A deficiency. And then the next thing actually, there is a bone deformities. It affects bones. There is also a nervous lesion. So skeletal growth retard, but brain growth with create pressure in the nervous tissue causes increased cerebrospinal fluid pressure. So it means that in addition, bone deformities, it also cause nerve lesion, and also it causes congenital blindness, which is the optic foramen is not formed properly. So therefore, the optics foramen leads to the constriction of optic nerves. So once the optic nerve is being constricted, it means that there will be a permanent damage to the nerve that can lead to the permanent blindness. So that is congenital distance. So what are the sources of vitamin? There is we can get it from fish, liver oil, egg yolk, milk fat. All these are the sources, and of course from plant source. So all green vegetables are rich in for vitamin A, which is beta carotene. So you should understand this is why sometimes we always encourage our patient to start taking fruit and vegetables because they are highly rich in vitamin A. So it means that if you are taking any of these fruit and vegetables, it will protect you with all these deficiency diseases or deficiency disorders, bone deformities, nerve lesion, congenital blindness, and so many other things. So then the next thing after vitamin A is vitamin D. So vitamin D is called, it's actually originated from uh, a gosterol implant. So in the presence of ultraviolets, this vitamin D or this ergosterol implant is converted into ergocalciferol, which is D2. And of course, the vitamin dehydroxycholesterol in the presence of ultraviolet light also is converted into whole calciferol, which is the real vitamin D. And also this is also called antiarrhythmic factor, and it resembles to steroid hormones. So the active form of the active form, which is the whole calciferol, which is the real vitamin D, stimulate the synthesis of calcium binding protein. And this calcium binding protein, it requires for the absorption of calcium. So it requires for the absorption of calcium and phosphorus deposition in the bones. So that is why in most cases you will see that some people will be saying that, okay, let me go sun so that at least my vitamin or my body can synthesize vitamin D. Yeah, of course. The 7-dehydrocholesterol is it's an inactive vitamin D. So vitamin D is only active when it absorbs ultraviolet. So ultraviolet light is converting these products or this 7, it converts 7-hydroxycholesterol to whole calciferol, which is the real vitamin D. So once this happened, then you now get your active vitamin D. And this vitamin D, it actually stimulates the synthesis of calcium binding protein. And this calcium binding protein is required for calcium and phosphorus deposition in bones. So this is one of the major reasons why vitamin D is involved in bond formation and bone development, maintenance of bone, development of bone, as well as the growth of bone. And it is because of the calcium binding protein that was actually stimulated or activated by the vitamin D, which subsequently help in the deposition of calcium and phosphorus in the bones. So that is the importance of the vitamin D. So then the next thing is, so I think in a summary, you need light to get vitamin D because it is an activating factor, and of course this vitamin D stimulates the synthesis of calcium binding proteins, which is required for calcium and phosphorus deposition for bone development and bone formation. So then, what are the vitamin D deficiency? It leads to rickets in young ones, osteomalacia in adults, and will also retard growth, decreased feed consumption. So sometimes you can have problems with your feet, or you can reduce eating to actually the problems of vitamin D. And it increased loss of calcium and phosphorus in urine. So in poultry, usually if there is vitamin D deficiency, it leads to formation of thin shell eggs, reduce hatchability in large erythroid gland. So these are actually deficiency associated with, or these are the conditions associated with vitamin D deficiency. So what are the sources? Cod liver oil, egg yolk, and sun-dried raw veggies/grains. Provitamin D, which is a gas from plant, and then 7-dehydroxy cholesterol in the skin of the animals. So these are actually the sources of the vitamin D. So then the next thing is vitamin E. So what is the functions of vitamin E? So out of the 8 natural forms of alpha tocopherol is more active, and it is a natural antioxidant. So generally, vitamin E, it helps in scavenging radicals. And what are the radicals? Radicals are the oxidants that can easily attack your cells, and as a result of that, it leads to oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is a medical condition that is associated or that linked with a lot of diseases, because these radicals, they usually affect the cell, they affect the DNA, and so many other things. So they are associated, or they are the link. Oxidative stress can lead to diabetes, cardiovascular disease. In fact, oxidative stress is associated with an increase in aging. So what vitamin E is a natural antioxidant. So glutathione destroys any peroxidase form before they can damage the cells in our body. And of course, vitamin E is also an antioxidant, which also helps in neutralizing the effect of the radicals. So this vitamin E, it helps in the absorption and utilization of vitamin A, and extend storage of vitamin A in the liver by protecting from oxidation. So it also plays an important role in the development and function of the immune system. So you see, it has so many functions. First, one of the functions, it serves as a natural antioxidant. So therefore, it prevents oxidative stress. It also helps in the absorption and utilization of vitamin E. And it's also important in actually developing and making the immunity to function properly in our body. So it means that it's an immune booster. That is why taking vitamin E is very, very important, because it helps our body develop immune system that will protect us against any infection, and it is important in reproduction. So then, apart from what actually happened to vitamin E deficiency, so it causes infertility in female, and it reduces sperm mortality in males. So it means that in this case, ladies and gentlemen, we can easily understand that vitamin E is very, very important. So it means that if it can reduce the sperm mortality in males, it can also cause it can also cause infertility in the men as well, because mortality is one of the quality of the sperm. So if your sperm is not well motile, it means that there is a likelihood that the sperm cannot fertilize the eggs. And then second, it also leads to nutritional myopathy, that is like white muscles disease. It also called cause encephalomalacia / crazy cheek disease. So cheek is unable to walk or stand and is accompanied by hemorrhages and necrosis of the brain cells. So it means that it affect the brain. There is also exudative diabetes, that is edema of the subcutaneous fatty tissues associated with abnormal permeability of the capillary walls. So that is why, ladies and gentlemen, we should understand that there are a lot of diseases. That are affecting us as a result of the vitamin deficiency. In fact, there are a lot of medical conditions that, as a result of improper diagnosis, that if you actually undergo a thorough diagnosis, most of them they are vitamin deficiency, and that is why we have to be very careful. Diagnosis is very, very important. And then sources of vitamin A: grain fodders, cereal grains, vegetables, fat and nuts, oil seeds and legumes. They are all sources of vitamin E. And then the next one is vitamin K. So vitamin K is also subdivided into K1, K2, and K3. K1 is phyloquinone, which is found in green plant and oil seeds. And we have K2, which is menaquinone in the intestinal bacteria. And then we have menadione. This is a synthetic product, and it requires for the synthesis of prothrombin and other clotting factors. So we know that there is usually, when we are wounded, that is usually come out from the wound area. So, but we need the clotting, or we need the blood to be clotted, so that to prevent the further loss of the blood. So that is what we call clotting. So vitamin K is required for the synthesis of prothrombin, which is one of the clotting factor and other clotting factors. And we have vitamin K. This vitamin K is also called anti-hemorrhagic vitamin, and it involved in the electron transport and oxidative phosphorylation. Oxidative transport chain and electron transport chain is a system that usually takes place in the mitochondria, and the main purpose of this electron transport chain and oxidative phosphorylation is to generate a lot of energy in the mitochondria. So vitamin K is involved in doing that. And this vitamin K is synthesized by the gastrointestinal tract microorganisms. So they are the ones that have synthesized them in our body, and these are the kind of the microbial flora that are usually found in our GIT. So they are important. And then we have vitamin K deficiency. So there will be low prothrombin level in the blood, which leads to hemorrhagic condition. As a sweet clover disease, that is a mold infested sweet clover, contains a compound called dicomarol, which is potent vitamin K antagonist, leading to hemorrhagic disease. So deficiency is more common in poultry, and sources include green leafy vegetables, egg yolk, liver, fish, and of course synthesized by the bacteria in the GIT. And we have vitamin C, which is called ascorbic acid, and it is synthesized in all animals except human and guinea pigs in the L-gluconolactone oxidase, which is required for vitamin C synthesis from 6-carbon sugar. So it is synthesized in all animals except in human and guinea pigs, because the animals and guinea pigs lack L-gluconolactone oxidase, which is required and is required for vitamin C synthesis from cis-carbon sugar. So we lack this enzyme, so that is why human and fish cannot synthesize vitamin. It plays an important role in the formation of collagen and intracellular cement substance. It plays an important role in oxidative reduction reaction of living cells. That is, it is also another good antioxidant. Apart from vitamin E, vitamin C is also an antioxidant, and it also used as a preservative in canning and prison industry. And then vitamin C deficiency leads to scurvy, and this scurvy is associated with dry, rough skin covered with reddish spots, weakness, bleeding, ulcerated gums, losing of teeth, swallowing joint, and hemorrhage. So it's very, very important we should understand how vitamin deficiency is actually happening in humans, because this vitamin deficiency is associated with so many things. So what are the sources of vitamin C? Is there in the citrus fruits, tomatoes, potatoes, green leafy vegetables? They are all rich in vitamin C. And then we have vitamin B1, which is thiamine. Thiamine pyrophosphate is a coenzyme that involves in oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvate to acetyl-CoA and of alpha-ketoglutarate to succinyl-CoA and TCA. This is why they usually play their role. And the deficiency of vitamin B1, it leads to beriberi, polioencephalomalacia. These are the two main problems associated with vitamin B1. So thiamine hydrolyzes generally by thiaminase in ruminant, cycling movement, epistonous, convulsion, and it also leads to death. So these are this. Then we have the sources of vitamin include yeast, bran, rice, foliage, egg yolk, liver, kidney, pork, and is rich in thiamine. So all these are the sources of vitamin B1. And then the next one after vitamin B1 is riboflavin V2. So this one is also an important constituent of flavin mononucleotides and flavin dinucleotides, and is used by cells to transport hydrogen in the metabolic pathways. So it involves in amino acid and carbohydrate metabolism. And their deficiency is associated with degeneration of myelin sheaths, loose integrity of epithelium, called paralysis in poultry. And of course, the sources is from, you can get it from yeast, bacteria, fungi. And rich sources are liver, yeast, milk, egg, and green leafy vegetables. All of this can be actually obtained from riboflavin V2. So then the next one is niacin, that is nicotinic acid. So nicotinic acid, which is nicotinamide in animals, so nicotinic acid in plants. So the component of nicotinic acid and nicotinamides, NAD and NADP, carbohydrates, proteins, and lipid metabolism. Tryptophan is a precursor of niacin, except in cat and milk. So that they are the component of NAD and NADH, which is actually the important cofactors or coenzymes that are required for proteins, carbohydrate, and lipid metabolism. And the deficiencies is associated with black punk in dogs, pellagra, which is blue punk in man and figs, and sources is associated. It's found in it is found so the sources actually it is found in the rich sources of liver, yeast, granules, and sunflower. And then we have pyridosine, which is vitamin D. Pyridosine, a component of pyridosyl phosphate, which act as a coenzymes for transamination and decarboxylase activity. So it's also required for metabolism of tryptophan. So deficiency of vitamin B6, especially in pigs, it reduces appetite, microcytic, hypochronic anemia, convulsion, and it's also slow growth. And in addition, in poultry, chicks show jerky movement in adult birds. Stability and egg production are adversely affected. So what are the sources? So they are usually chemically bound to proteins in many sources. Groundnut meal, rice bran, wheat bran, molasses, liver, and milk all are highly rich in vitamin B6. And then we have pantotenic acid, which is a constituent of coenzyme A, which is an important acyl transfer. And it is also a structural component of acyl carrier protein, which is involved in the cytoplasmic synthesis of fatty acids. And deficiency in figs is associated with goose stepping. And of course, in chicks, it retards growth, poor feather development, granular eyelids, scalp around mouth. And of course, there are sources. You can get it in the liver, egg yolk, granules, phenol, all are the sources of pantotenic acid. And we have biotin, which is also called vitamin H. And the main function is actually transfer of carbon dioxide from one substrate to another. Avidin in egg white protein is anti-metabolite to biotin. So the main function of this vitamin H, which is biotin, is involved in the transfer of a carbon. So it's a one carbon coenzyme. So it is required for the transfer of carbon dioxide to the substrates. So when an avidin, which is found in the egg yolk, is an anti-metabolite to biotin. So it means that whenever you have avidin, it usually inhibits the activity of biotin. So avidin is an inhibitor of one carbon transfer. And of course, the deficiency, it's usually in figs, it's associated with food lesion, alopecia, and a dry, scary skin. So sources include the biotin. So biotin is widely distributed in food, liver, milk, eyes, oil seeds, and vegetables are highly rich sources. Then we have folic acid, which is a coenzyme in the mobilization and utilization of single carbon groups like formyl and methyl. So it's usually use folic acids as also one of the single carbon groups. And deficiency in chicks and turkeys is associated with poor growth, poor bone development, and poor egg hatchability. And of course, macrocytic, so in humans, it associated with hyperchronic anemia in humans. So these are the sources: cereals, leafy or green leafy materials. And we have choline, which is a component of phospholipid lecithin, and it is metabolic essential for building and maintaining cell structure. It also plays an important part in lipid metabolism in the liver, and a component of acetylcholine, which is responsible for the transmission of nerve impulse. It also serves as a donor for methyl groups. So choline can be synthesized in the liver from methionine, and deficiency is associated with cirrhosis, low growth, fatty liver. And these are the sources. You can get it from green leafy materials, yeast, yolk, egg yolk, and they are all sources. And this is vitamin D, which is known as cyanocobalamin, is stored in the liver. Plant do not synthesize vitamin B12, so they are synthesized by ruminant bacteria when sufficient uh, carbon dioxide is available. So they synthesize methyl group from one carbon precursor, and they concern in the synthesis of DNA and RNA that is essential for cellular division, control protein synthesis. So it also control protein synthesis and is necessary for the conversion of methylmalonyl CoA into succinyl CoA during fatty acids biosynthesis, and of course that is in alt chain fatty acid metabolism, alt chain. So deficiencies associated with poor growth, poor feathering, decreased hatchability, dermatitis, rock pot. And of course, the sources include liver, kidney. Excellent sources include meat, fish, and moderate sources. So these are actually what we are going to discuss on vitamins. So ladies and gentlemen, we are going to stop here. And if you have any question, you can ask on the comment section. And please, if this is the first time you are coming to my YouTube channel, please subscribe. Thank you.